Hello, everyone. Welcome back. This is Rando Geek. All right, I have an article here, which I will link for you down below, coming from Android Authority. The article in itself, not really too interesting, but the topic here is what I want to really dive into because there's a lot of discussion between the big three carriers. We have T-Mobile, who usually comes out as the reigning winner in most cases when quarterly results are released. We'll have Verizon will usually come in number 2, and then AT&T might come in third. Sometimes Verizon and AT&T alternate. Like in this case, AT&T did really well, impressively well, considering a number of factors, like the fact that customers have had a lot of issues with their service over the last year. 2024 was an unkind year, in my opinion, for AT&T as far as how customers might have felt, whether they can call AT&T a reliable network with constant outages. Then there was data breaches, and it's just a bad look for AT&T overall, all around in 2024. But surprisingly, it didn't stop them from growing. They had one of the best years as far as subscriber postpaid growth in a long time. And they did modify their plans a little bit. They made them a little bit better. They don't have all the bells and whistles that people want, all the streaming services or any of that, but they've added some hotspot. They've added some more premium data. They also dinged us when it comes to priority, right? So it's like they took 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. So, unfortunately, that's kind of how AT&T does things. And I think if they were a little bit better with that, I think they would do a lot better. But again, it's all about management. It's all who's in their marketing team and who decides how these plans are going to go. That person or persons needs to sit down and think about what consumers really want. So anyway, plans are a little bit better, and they did a lot better. But usually, like I said, T-Mobile is usually the top dog, the winner that usually gets all the attention, usually seems to outperform the other two. It doesn't mean that they're a better carrier. Doesn't mean they're a better company. It just means that sales are better. And there's a lot of things that go into play when it comes to sales. There's marketing, there's specials, deals, right? Incentives for customers to sign up. There's bundling, bundling home internet with mobile has been an effective way for customers to save money and for carriers to get more from the customer. They allow the customer to come over and they take money from other service providers. If someone was getting their internet service from Spectrum, T-Mobile is now interested in signing up for internet with, say, T-Mobile 5G home internet. Now they figure, well, I have a cell phone with Spectrum as well. I have Spectrum Wireless. Maybe I should go to T-Mobile now because they're going to charge me $20 less on my 5G home internet if I do so. And if I bring more people in, well, then I'm going to save even more money on my home internet as well as my wireless service. So this is how it works, right? I don't need to tell you that. We know this. But this is where companies like T-Mobile have a benefit. This is why they do so well, in my opinion. Many people will argue that T-Mobile is not the most reliable carrier. Some of you absolutely hate T-Mobile, and I don't agree with that. Bluntly, I don't think T-Mobile is a horrible carrier. I think they're a very good carrier. I do think when it comes to reliability, they're not your best choice. Like if you have to choose between the 3 carriers and your primary goal and focus is to have a carrier that you can rely on because you need dependable service, maybe you're constantly on the road, you're in areas that don't have the best cell service. Typically, your towers are very spread out and they're not easily accessible for you to jump on from one to the next to keep you boosted when it comes to coverage. Well, then they may not be the best choice. They're a very good choice when you do have access to multiple cell sites and they can piggyback off of each other and supply cell coverage to you. T-Mobile will be a phenomenal choice because they are very fast and they're very efficient when they work. When they work well. But there's areas, but typically for me, my problem is, buildings. Even in the house, it's just not the most reliable. I find that Verizon tends to be a little bit more reliable for me in my home. I find that Verizon tends to be a little bit more reliable in buildings. I also find that AT&T tends to be a little bit more reliable in buildings. Buildings are schools, hospitals, any of that stuff, any place where you work, you want cell coverage. You should not be on Wi-Fi all day. You shouldn't have to be on Wi-Fi all day. We have unlimited plans. We're paying for unlimited plans. We should be able to use our cell service if we choose. We shouldn't need to do Wi-Fi calling, which T-Mobile offers, but we shouldn't need it, So that's how I feel. Now, taking a deep dive into this, why do people choose T-Mobile over AT&T and Verizon? There's a lot of reasons. For some, T-Mobile is better for them in their area. It works better. They may be in populated city areas where T-Mobile might be number one. And if you're in a very crowded area where T-Mobile's number one, why would you pay more for AT&T or Verizon? You have the reliability. And often T-Mobile offers very good promotions. If we look at their plans, we see, if we stack them up to say AT&T and Verizon, we'll see that T-Mobile gives you more for your money. T-Mobile will give you more incentives to sign up with them on the home internet side and also just the postpaid side. If you go to T-Mobile's postpaid plans, you'll see that one of their most expensive plans is the Go 5G Plus. That's like $90 with auto pay. You get unlimited premium data, 50 gigs of high-speed mobile hotspot. You're getting, unlimited talk and text, of course, all that stuff, Wi-Fi calling. You get phone upgrades and offers, so you get that upgrade ready every 2 years if you're someone interested in that. There's no taxes or fees, which is a big plus, right? So your bill is just $90. It's not going to be $95 with taxes and fees. They're offering all kinds of entertainment, which many people are very interested in. You have your Apple TV Plus, you have your Netflix ads on us. Some of them include Hulu. You have 4K streaming. You have international and travel, which is a big thing for a lot of people, right? Unlimited talk and text and up to 15 gigs of high-speed data when you travel to Canada and Mexico. You have in-flight. So you have the, full flight texting and Wi-Fi with streaming. I mean, that in itself is, for a lot of people, if you travel, that could be really well worth it for you. So there's a lot of benefits with T-Mobile that you'd have to pay a lot more for with, some other companies. Like Verizon and AT&T. They don't offer that stuff. AT&T doesn't even offer any streaming services anymore. It's just the basics now. They've done better with hotspot. They've bumped up their premium data a bit. They raised the price like $1 a month. So it's, they did good. But then they lowered your priority levels. You're now getting a little bit lower priority levels, and they're selling you to get that priority back. You have to pay $7 more a month for Turbo. And for many, it's worth it. But what I'm saying is, this is, I think, why T-Mobile tends to do better. They just offer more. And for many, they don't see the difference, or they're going to try it out and then maybe it'll be so bad that they'll leave and go to AT&T or Verizon, maybe. But, if you look at Verizon's plans, particularly one is like the $100 ultimate iPhone plan with Apple One, that's $90, right? But I think you have to have more than one line or something. There's some kind of procedure that has to be followed for you to get that $90. But you do get 60 gigs of premium mobile hotspot, which is nice, really good. That's more than T-Mobile's offering. You get ultimate phone upgrades, new and existing customers, 50% off 2 data plans for a watch, tablet, and more. So you do get a lot of, accessories and incentives there. You get Apple One, you would get your Apple Plus, TV, Arcade, iCloud, music. And you'll basically, if you're an iPhone lover and you want to stay in the iPhone world, this is perfect for you. This is a great plan for you. Their similar plan, which is $90, right? With I think it's just one single line. This would basically be T-Mobile's version of the Go Plus plan, Go 5G Plus plan. They're only going to give you 30 gigs of premium hotspot. They're not giving you those international benefits. I don't see any of that any streaming offers. So I don't see Apple TV. I don't see Netflix on us with ads. It's just mostly service. And this is the problem. You're going to pay a lot more. For many, it's worth it to pay a lot more because Verizon is their go-to. They feel they can trust the network and it's worth it more. So what am I saying is, this is why T-Mobile, I think, tends to do better every quarter. I wouldn't say they're selling themselves short. They were selling themselves short years ago when they were full on carrier. They've become a lot more carrier-like. I think it, in some ways, for them to be a more well-respected company, I think they have to raise prices a little bit so that they can be a little bit more competitive. But many of you will say, well, they're not really worth all that money. That's the problem. They're not reliable enough. Why should they charge anywhere near what the other two are charging? Well, the network has gotten more reliable. In my opinion, it has gotten better. There's still work to be done. And for many, I think they feel T-Mobile is good enough at the very least for them. And some are very pleased. Some will tell you that T-Mobile works better for them than the other two do. But again, it's market specific. It's market specific. And for many that are choosing T-Mobile, they're in the right market for them. And these are customers that are going to choose, they're going to choose the best price and the best perks for them. And if they can get deals with their home internet too, this is what it's all about. Getting good enough service without breaking the bank, getting all the perks and benefits that you can. We all want perks and benefits. We all like it. We all want more for our money, right? So that is my feeling on this. And I could give you more, but then we'd be here for an hour. I think I just wanted to kind of point out, my take on why I feel so many will choose T-Mobile over the rest. With Verizon, everything is an add-on. If you want Disney, it's $10. If you want Netflix or Max, it's $10. It's on top of your bill. So you're going to pay a lot of money. And there's taxes and fees. So that same $90 plan, if you add Netflix or Max, is going to be $100 with autopay. And then it's going to be plus tax. And you're probably looking at $5 to $6 tax because you'll be paying tax. They'll be giving you taxes on the Netflix or Max, and they'll be giving you taxes on the actual phone plan. So you're definitely looking at $5 to $6 in taxes. So you're looking at a $15 difference over T-Mobile. And if you don't really think T-Mobile isn't a bad company and you don't think the service is bad and it works good for you, why would you pay $15 more just to say you have Verizon service? Some of you may not even like Verizon. So this is what I'm saying. This is how I look at it. This is how I feel about it. Because many will believe that T-Mobile, there's no way that they're doing as good as they're doing. I think they can overhype. I think they talk a lot of smack. They do. They've always have. And basically John Legere is the one who started that whole go out, and show off kind of thing and get the crowd, get everyone roared up and, all excited and pumped. And I mean, remember when he would come out, that guy was just a blaze of energy. It's like he had 15 shots of espresso before he got on stage. Elsewhere, the other are a little bit more professional, a little bit more laid back, and they're taken more serious. And they are, believe me, there are many people in high professions that make a lot of money that will only choose AT&T and Verizon, and they have the money and they'll pay for the service because they can depend on it. And I think those are the ones that have chosen AT&T, which is why we saw the postpaid subscriber growth. That is rough to do in 2025 and 2024. It's rough because postpaid requires, I've said this before, it requires more money. It requires a credit check. And there are many people that don't have good enough credit to even get a cell phone plan, which is why they've chosen prepaid in the first place. That's why prepaid was created, to help others, to help people with less efficient credit get a cell phone plan and not have to get aggravated. You can pay your bill, you pay in advance. There's nothing to worry about as far as the company is concerned, the carrier is concerned. They can trust you because you've already paid. You're building up your credit by paying a couple of months, 6 months or so. You'll be eligible to move to postpaid if you want. And AT&T even has a great deal now that will do that for you. They have a new plan. You can start out as a prepaid customer in 6 months. If you want to get on postpaid, you can. It's not cheaper. It's just allowing for someone with really bad credit to get on postpaid because otherwise they wouldn't be eligible. And that's a nice thing for them to do. But what I'm saying is, for customers to choose postpaid in 2025, that's a special thing. And we've seen that with all these carriers. A lot of people are coming back to postpaid. I think a lot of it has to do with home internet. I think the incentive there is for customers to get on a postpaid plan so that they can save money on home internet. And the carriers are smart. They figured out a way to get them back on. I also think, before I wrap this up, that we'd see probably even more subscriber growth on T-Mobile postpaid. But when there's Metro, which is also T-Mobile, and you're getting a plan for $25 a month, and you don't really need Netflix, or you don't need in-flight connections, or you don't care about any of those other things that they're offering, calling international or whatnot. You don't care about that specifically. Why would you sign up for a postpaid plan when you can have Metro for $25? And that same thing goes for Verizon. Verizon postpaid is a little pricey for what you get. We have Visible that will give you Visible Plus for $45. That's half the price. And you're getting 50 gigs of premium. You're getting unlimited hotspot. You're getting Apple Watch or smartwatch connectivity now. There's some international benefits. So why would you pay so much more to get barely anything different? And then we have Total. Don't even get me started on that. Truly unlimited data, premium data, right? Why would you sign up for postpaid when you're getting more benefits with Verizon's subsidiaries? That does make you wonder, how long will Verizon keep those going? Because ultimately, it's actually hurting their postpaid business. But then again, it could also be saving them overall financially, because if not enough people are actually attracted to Verizon's, postpaid plans, at least they'll turn to those other companies, in which they ultimately get the money anyway. It all goes back to them anyway, just differently. It's just different pass-throughs. But, and then AT&T, they're kind of smart in a way, because all they really have is Cricket. So they kind of just want you to use their postpaid or their prepaid, so this way you're just basically forced to pay them directly. They don't want to deal with all of that, I guess. They're mostly focused on fiber, which is why it's real interesting that they've done so good in postpaid. But yeah, they did a lot better than people expected. And I think maybe those little bit of changes that they made with their plans last year, adding the more hotspot and whatnot, I think, I guess the people that care about AT&T, the people that use them for the reliability, that's the kind of plans they want. They don't care about streaming. They don't care about any of that other stuff. They want a good, strong, reliable network with more premium data, more hotspot, because maybe they travel a lot and they use laptops and multiple devices are connected. Maybe they're always in hotels and don't like using Wi-Fi because of security purposes. these are the things you have to think about. Like, these are the type of customers AT&T and Verizon typically gain the most from. The company men, the businessmen, I want to say. Because a lot of companies will choose Verizon for cell phone service, whether it's schools, banks, even hospitals, any place that supplies coverage for their workers. I mean, you see FirstNet, right? Who they choose? AT&T, and Verizon's up there too. T-Mobile's trying. They're doing better. It's going to take time, but so these are the things we have to think about. We have to consider all this. Why do customers and businesses choose these carriers? What's really behind it? Why? Because it's real easy to throw the book at T-Mobile and say it's all lies. I think what they say could be lies. They're trying to overhype themselves and oversell themselves. I mean, that's their job, right? To try to make investors care about them, to make you care about them. A lot of it can be over exaggerated, but numbers don't lie. If we're getting sales that are saying T-Mobile is doing very well, I think they are. But there's obviously reasons why. They're pushing hard, they're selling hard, they're giving tons of incentives, and there's nothing wrong with that. But this is why we have the results we have, I feel. As always, thank you so much for stopping by and watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.